Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Joker. Back to you guys with another dip video. Video. Today we're doing the famous Copenhagen Black. Yeah, I got it. Yes, I got dip. I have wintergreen as well. I got a can of each. Thanks to my buddy, the one with the Wi-Fi, always asks questions. If all women are like that. Sorry. I like to call this segment the shitter segment. I'm in my bathroom. I'm doing this at night when there's not. I don't want to turn on a whole shit ton of lights in the bathroom. No one gives a shit how loud I am. Love. Video. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just coming off of a cough and cold type of shit. You were spitting anybody? I got a lipper in, but I'm gonna put in a filler. See? Not a big one. I haven't been packing big ones. Like I said in my previous videos, that, I've stopped packing big lips because honestly, they're just a waste of dip. So I'm gonna pack a little filler in here. Get a little tiny ball of this Copenhagen Black goodness and tell you what I think. Now, in case if you don't know what Copenhagen Black looks like, on this shitter segment, I do have one question before I get to the dip. If you're gonna pack a lip then. Sorry I didn't say anything, but I figure if you guys are dipping with me, I already have a lip packed. Mine's the only one. Alright, I'm on Dip University, right? And this topic came up. Now, one of my favorite places to pack a lip, in my house, anyways, is when I'm on the shitter. Sometimes when I take a shower. But ultimately, the bathroom is one of the best places I've come to find. Other than when I sit in the kitchen table in my bedroom, that I pack the lip. That I like packing the lip when I'm taking a shit. Now, I'm pretty sure. Do you guys do that? And I watch my YouTube videos up here. I pretty much do everything. Like I pack a lip, check my social media stuff, watch YouTube, pack a lip. And I figure, what the hell? I mean, I get bitched out for being too loud downstairs, even though I try not to be. And like sometimes I don't always get the chance to do these videos during the day when I like to, and sometimes during the day, no matter what room I'm at, I get interruptions. And I found the shitter. It's one of the best places to do it if I have nowhere else to go. That's why nobody bothers me in the shitter. That's how it goes. So I'm gonna do a shitter segment. I'm on my pot. No, I'm not taking a shit. I express that. No. But this, I'm gonna call this the shitter segment whenever I'm in the mood to do a video and I got dip and it's later at night. I'm gonna do a shitter segment. Now, I always wanted to ask, if I'm the indifferent one because I'm a different type of person. Let's face it, and I'm pretty sure most guys and most people nowadays, like, they have their cell phone and shit. And a lot of male dippers and shit, they're like me, and sometimes they'll be up here and they'll have their dip and shit, and they'll pack a lip on the shitter and watch dip videos or they're on their social media sites and whatnot and shit. And that's basically what I do. You know, whenever I gotta take a shit and I don't have a lip in, I come up here, grab my dip can, pack a lip, toss it in, you know, and watch and do all that good shit. You know, shower, the bathroom is one of the best places I found to pack a lip inside the house. It's not the most, because then you get the privacy. You know, you're not gonna get somebody coming in, you know, hey, you know, that's gross. Why? Because it's private. No one's gonna walk into you. No sane person, I guess. And I mean, let's face it, for some of us sellers, we do have wives that fucking tend to walk in, or we have family members that don't give a fucking shit. You taking a shit shower, you know, they gotta use the sink or whatnot. Or they need something out of the bathroom. You taking a shit and you're going, hey, hey. They'll just fucking walk in. I'm in the bathroom using. Just fucking walk in and do whatever they're doing. I have family members like that. And it's worse when you have little kids too. Fuck. I have a niece. You guys have heard. For all of you that don't know, I'm an uncle. And my niece lives in the house with us. Of course, well, her mom does. And it's my younger sister. She's 19. She'll be turning 20 this year, so. Yeah, she was teen pregnancy, but I don't care. I fucking love my niece. She's I call her midget. Boys are fun teaching her shit. I do get in trouble for that. I told my mom that I want to teach her one of these, the bigger parties. How people have always taught boys and shit, but only you do it girl style. Put Cheerios or whatnot, Fruit Loops, in the toilet and have her sink them. I mean, from my experience, when you're teaching youngins how to pee, like especially boys, you give them something to aim and then make it fun for them. That's just a side parenting note I've come to find. But anyways, my thoughts on Copenhagen Black. When I first got it, okay, let me start off. I got wintergreen first. How did I come across the can of wintergreen? Well, from my buddy. Alright, my buddy's good. He's one of my good buddies. Let me give you a background so I don't ever think I would ever give him background. Background how I met him. Well, I met him through school, right? I didn't really get to know. I knew him. I knew his name, and we were acquaintances. I hung out with the misfits, the skaters, the stoners, and all that. The oddballs of the group, right? Well, about freshman year in high school, all my buddies have left, right? And I knew him, I was acquainted with him, but I met my buddy who's going to be an electrical engineer. His name is Ben. I met him freshman year. We had science together for the whole year. If you don't know, sometimes in high school they switch up your classes like they do in college, and sometimes at 1 hour you might have, you know, one semester, trimester in high school, you might have a different class at a different hour, and they're not always going to place the same people. Well, I tend to have Ben every year, or well, all the way up until junior year, in my science classes. Well, freshman year, I finally, you know, started talking to him more during physical science. If you don't know what physical science is, it's pretty much the pre-basics of physics. And nowadays you have to take that, you know, freshman or sophomore year. Well, we weren't really friends, like best friends. We were more class buddies because we sat right next to each other, and we tend to talk. One, I'm a very talkative guy, and in school it's worse. If a buddy's near me and I know my shit and I've done my homework, or in the middle of doing my homework, I'll multitasking, talk to a friend while I'm doing that. And usually, I don't have very many people. I talk to anybody and everybody, So I'm a very well known guy. I was very well known in high school. I wasn't popular, I was well known. There's a difference. I guess you could say I was popular because most people knew who I was. But that's because I'm a friendly guy and I like to talk to people. It don't matter who's around me, and I talk to him. Well, he happened to be around me, and we like video games. That was a common interest in music and shit, and electronics and shit. So we started talking back and forth freshman year. I still had the same group then. They didn't. And then sophomore year, they all moved to other towns, you know, 30 minutes, a couple hours away. So, we started hanging out. We had biology together sophomore year, and we sat next to each other again. So we just became friends over the 2 years, and we started hanging out more and more. Well, this time DJ, my buddy who bought me dip, and he's the one with the Wi-Fi. Started having little rants about women. She's the one that gives me those ideas. Well, you know, he had started talking to Ben around more after I did and stuff, and because they had some similar classes again, same scenario. My friend Ben is not really, he's not a very social guy. He's not gonna come up to you and say, "Hello, my name is Ben." You pretty much gotta go to, you gotta be in a similar situation as him, and you gotta say, "Hey, what's up?" You know, he's not he's not a guy to go out of his way to meet people. So we met through, we became friends through having a mutual buddy. We sat at the same table, and our friendship has been there ever since sophomore in high school. Well, fast forward to 21 years, and our friendship still hasn't dulled. Pretty much, he's one of my best friends. He he's been a buddy that's been through me. If I have a problem, or if he has a problem, we can rely on each other. Like when you know, last year, he's the one I moved in with, DJ, and he tried to help me get on my feet, which at the time was not a good time for job wise. So that you know, that kind of sucked. So I moved back to home, and I started babysitting for a relative, and that's how I got money, and that's about the time I started dipping. And he ended up having to move back because the apartment was, the person who he was renting from was a shitty person. They put it up, didn't even tell him, so there's all that bullshit. So anyways, he moved back. And by that time, he was in school, he was in college and shit, working, finding a job, getting jobs. Because there's not a whole lot of jobs I can do. Even in high school, I had to be worried about my knees. It's a current problem. I'm a fat guy, right? And I've been fat most of my life, and I've been a very active person. There's some other medical issues with that, but I've been I was a fairly active fat person when I was younger, and that wore down my knees, and I have to be careful on that when I go do jobs because a slight accident um, can really bone me, put it that way. So, I had to be careful, which kind of sucked on my trying to find a job. But anyways, DJ was different. He could do those jobs. So he's able to find a job. Then he married his wife. And then fast forward now. We're, I made a bet with him bowling this last weekend, and that's how I got black. But I hadn't been dipping for almost 3 weeks, and I hadn't hung out with him for 3 weeks ever since. After I stopped dipping, I was able to buy my own dip. Well, I couldn't buy dip, and I had to take a break from it because I couldn't get it myself. And I hung out with him. I told him I hadn't dipped or smoked in about a month, which was pretty close to getting a month here now. So he's like, all right. We went to the store, and we went to the store, the gas station, to go get drinks, right? That's our routine when I hang out. Is we go get drinks and stuff because all at his house he has water and shit. All he has is water because he's always buying from the gas station. So, and when we get together, we smoke cigars. We don't really smoke. I try not to smoke so many cigarettes. I barely smoke, other than socially or when I can't dip and I got smokes. But me, that's sort of what the thing. When we get together, we have cigars. Every once in a while. So he's up there buying cigars, and he likes to smoke cigars. He doesn't really smoke cigarettes or anything. He has cigars every once in a while, and it happens to be when I'm around. He's been doing it more than when I'm around, but that's when he mostly smokes cigars, from what I found out. So he got the Social Sweet Perfectos. They're pretty much like the real cigars, only you don't have to clip them and put a hole in them. That's the only thing you don't have to do. They look more like the old time cigars, like in the cartoons, how the pre-made hole, and then like they're rolled up to an end that's pre-cut and shit, and it tapers down. We got those, and then while he's at the cash register, he's trying to remember what I dip, and I'm a creature of habit. Usually, if it's not something special, like Copenhagen Black is the special one that I've gotten. I haven't gotten really anything special other than Copenhagen or wintergreen since I first started dipping wintergreen. So he knew he just couldn't remember. He got it down like Copenhagen wintergreen. He looks to me and he's like, "Isn't that what you dip?" I'm like, "Yeah, Copenhagen wintergreen." And he's like, "Here's your can. There you go." I'm like, "Thanks, buddy." And then fast forward again a few days to Saturday. We went bowling, and he bet me that I couldn't beat him in 2 games. Well, I beat him both games. He's like, "You get a can of dip, and that's your prize." And I was like, "Okay." Well, I was like, "I want to choose one I've wanted to try ever since I've heard it." He's like, "All right." And I was like, "It's seasonal." Well, his wife works for Maverick, which is a gas station, and she's like, "It's seasonal?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Copenhagen Black. It's seasonal." She's like, "They have seasonal dips." I'm like, "Yeah, they do. Copenhagen Black." Copenhagen Black is one. And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, interesting." I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "What does it taste like?" And I'm like, "I hear it tastes like bourbon and whiskey." And the first place where I usually buy my dip, which is the cheaper place to buy here in town, they didn't have it. I saw it there. I could have fucking sworn, but no, they didn't sell it. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I saw it there. No, we had to go to Maverick to get it. So I got it. Here it is. If you don't see it, Joe Gurr has gotten Copenhagen Black and dipped it on camera. Now, my thoughts. I know this is a little bit longer video. I'm sorry. So, story time. We'll call it the shitter. The shitter. We'll call it story time on the shitter. There we go. With Copenhagen Black. But sorry again for it being a longer video. I'm sorry that this is my first video in a while. And I'll make one before the end of next week. Before I'm out of dip. So, my take on Copenhagen Black is I'll give you a rundown. What I found at Copenhagen Black. Not trying to make this a review. Just give you my thought. It is like between a mid and long cut. If you look at it. So if you're planning on drinking with this, be sure you pack it down before you take a drink because it, there are some floaters and they're tiny. I mean, like Joey says, you're gonna get some floaters no matter what you dip. The only problem is this with this they're smaller. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, see on that can right there? See on the lid? Okay. See how those are a little bit finer, smaller than a regular long cut? Say you take Copenhagen wintergreen, which is generally a long cut. Even though this says long cut, it's between a mid and long cut. It's like a mid long cut. There we go. And the floaters you get, they're gonna be sort of like a mid to fine cut. So when you're drinking with this, like this is good drinking dip. I highly suggest if you're gonna drink like if your favorite drink is whiskey or bourbon, um, this is highly recommended you get during the seasonal time you can get it. This will not disturb the flavor of your whatever you're drinking. Like say you're drinking whiskey or bourbon, this will not disturb to it. This will add to it, and like it won't taste nasty if it mixes with the dip. Like I've come to find out sometimes that Copenhagen wintergreen. Sorry, I'm lining this up. Sometimes I line them up when I'm thinking, trying to word it properly. Like sometimes I've come to find out when I drink. Like I said in the past videos, I don't drink because with dip is because I swallowed some. I did, but another reason was is because when the alcohol mixed in with the wintergreen, it didn't taste so good. Like the wintergreen, like it lost the flavor, or like it mixed with the flavor with alcohol, and it kind of didn't taste right. So I ended up taking it out, and there's the time I swallowed it. That's why I said be careful if you're gonna drink with this, because if you do drink, you're gonna have to pack a little bit better. You're gonna have to keep it packed, because it is that kind of cut. So be worried if you're gonna drink that. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about cut. Is to be worried if you're drinking with that, and because that I would highly suggest as a drinking dip. So just be worried that just be worried of those smaller floaters, because they're not like normal floaters. They're gonna be the same long cut. You can catch them. They're a little bit smaller, so you might swallow some. Just be careful of that. Just use that tongue, work that tongue extra, a little extra, and you'll be fine. The flavor, to me, that's all that counts really. I like it. I'll tell you why. When I first started, I started on Copenhagen long cut. I gave you that story. Well, this reminds me of that so goddamn much. It's like they took long cut, Copenhagen long cut original, and just added some bourbon into it, bourbon or whiskey into it, or both. Because you got the hints of the bourbon, you got hints of the whiskey, and it's not dry to me whatsoever. Like I don't know if it's a fresh can. Yeah, I got it. Sell by date's November 16th, which is a very good date. But some people like it's dry. To me, that's not dry at all. That's the same as Copenhagen. But anyways, it's just like that. It's just like Copenhagen long cut original in flavor, but only they add whiskey and bourbon. They add a whiskey and bourbon flavor mix to it, which goes completely well. So you get that saltiness of the original long cut with this slight flavor, slight back flavor of this bourbon and whiskey, and then like the whiskey, so the bourbon whiskey flavor, it does run out slightly, but that's where the original long cut flavor comes in more, and you get this natural tobacco taste after you don't taste that, whiskey and that whiskey and bourbon flavor, which makes it very good. It reminds me of back when I first started dipping. So my thing is, if you like natural dips, you're gonna like this because when you first put it in, you're gonna get this big flavor, this bold flavor of whiskey and bourbon, along with the salty original dip flavor, which makes for a great combo. So overall, I love this dip, right? Now I will say probably won't. It's a dip that you can't. I would say to me, I wouldn't be able to dip every day, or like I could dip it every day for maybe a week, or until I can dip one can of it, but I can't dip cans in recession. Like I have to split it up between this and Copenhagen wintergreen because that's not. This is a dip that I don't think you'd be able to dip more than one can at a time. That's just me. I can't do that with original either. Like I have to switch it up if I dip original. But here's a good combination is put like a small dip of this in with some Copenhagen wintergreen. Oh, that's delicious, man. That's a dip I tried today, and it was good. Well, anyways, this is a long ass video, and I think I might just cut it up into two smaller. See if I can do it in two smaller videos, or I might. I'll just leave it like this. But anyways, my shout outs. The original JD Hewitt. Pack Dip Old Repeat full reveal. Cowboy Texas Cowboy Dipper 22, Texas Dipper 96, Roberto Dips. The Canadian Dippers, the A team, update on them. Spencer Striker, I think still dips. I heard he was quitting the YouTubes. Blacktop Dipper and Ursa Major. Shout out to them. And always remember to keep a lip pack and a can handy because life is better than pinch. See you guys later in the next video.